Hi, in this video I'll answer one more question sent to me by the student regarding the book Promoted Pawn My Chess Journey, but of course it'll be suitable for anybody. So let's move ahead and see the question itself. Please read it first and then we'll discuss it. The first question is, what is the software that I recommend to use for playing? Well, the three programs that I like the most are Stockfish, Rybka and Houdini, but to be honest, all of the modern chess engines are very strong and you can play against almost anything that you have, so it's not a big problem really. The second question of how to use it properly to train your opening skills is a very significant and important question. Let me show you how I do this myself. Also, it has been tested by a lot of my students with great results, and therefore I'm sure it will work for you just as well. Again, I do recommend that you train your openings by playing it against a computer program. It's especially crucial if you learned a new opening that you never played before. Then you really must practice it against the computer before you go and play it in real tournament games. Okay, the first note here is that it's better to use the strongest computer engine that you have and play the normal human chess. Don't try to draw, don't try to exchange pieces or play in a certain specific style. Play like you would normally do against a human being. Okay? The result of this game doesn't matter. Most likely you will lose, but that's alright because this is only the training. You're giving a test to your new opening line. So, what are you going to do? First, you set up the initial opening position of the opening line that you want to learn. Like in this case, let me just show you one game. Actually, you have seen it in the book A Promoted Pawn, but this time we will analyze it from another standpoint, from the standpoint of using engine to train your openings. Okay, so first of all, I set up this initial position. It's the Indian defense, which I wanted to train. And from this position, I turn on the computer program and force it to play from this position onwards. Oh, the computer played here after a6, bishop a3. So what do you do after that? Well, simply you continue the game and you finalize it. So let me show you the complete notation of this game. You see I lost pretty badly and pretty quickly here. And once you play the game, then it's time to analyze it. So you turn on the engine so that it shows you what it thinks about. Now you can see the engine lines here and the evaluations. In the game I played b5 move here, and I thought that it's the most natural one because it was prepared by the previous move a6. However, you see that computer recommends the move knight to g4 here, so that's the new idea that I can learn from this quick analysis. I didn't think about it during the game, but now computer shows me this line so I can get into it and see what is the recommendation of the computer. And it shows this interesting line with knight to e5 attacking this pawn, and then in the next move you can go either knight c5 or b5. So that's the new idea that I learned. I didn't think about it during the game, but in this analysis I learned this idea from the computer. So that's one good thing about this analysis. Okay, let's come back. Now in the actual game I played b5. Now the second good thing about analyzing the opening with the computer is that you can clarify all the questions that you have. For example, maybe during playing this game I had doubts like if white take on b5. Should I recapture with the c pawn or with the a pawn? And now you can see it is clear that black should take with the a pawn. Moreover, apart from analyzing this particular line, you can draw some general conclusions. There is a rule that you need to take towards the center, and here it's just the illustration of that general rule. That's another thing that I always do while analyzing the positions with the computer. I try not only go through the lines mechanically, but also to draw the general conclusions that I can later on apply in any situation. Okay, another similar example. Let's say I had a question, what if white takes on e5? Should I recapture with the pawn or with the knight? Again, now it's clear that black needs to take with the knight. The evaluation for this move is much better for black. With the same logic, you can think why computer recommends this move and not d takes c5. And you will come to a few general rules that you can use. Like one of them, it's better to make a piece move instead of the pawn move, because pieces are more powerful. Another thing, while playing knight takes e5, you're opening your light squared bishop, and there is another general rule which states that if you have a cramped position, it's good to trade off the pieces. You will enable extra squares for all of your pieces. Okay, let's come back to the actual game. In the actual game, white played c5 here. And that's another great point about testing your openings against the computer. Computer never afraid of anything, obviously, and it plays in the most aggressive style. It will constantly challenge you. It will choose the most aggressive, the most attacking moves. Also, computer spots any tactical motifs in the position, and therefore, while playing against a computer, you will learn all the eventual pitfalls that are typical for this opening. Like here, white played that move c5 boldly, although okay, this is a relatively standard tactical motif. Still, if you play it against a human being who is unprepared for this particular line, he may be too shy to go into those tactical complications. But when you play against a computer, you can be sure that computer will never be shy enough to challenge you in the toughest way. Okay, so after the c5 move, in the actual game I took d takes c5. And now during the analysis I can also check all the sidelines. And that's what I recommend that you do. By doing so, you prepare yourself for various possibilities that may happen in your practical game. Then none of your opponents will be able to surprise you. So, what do you need to do here? In the actual game, I played d takes c5, and of course I need to analyze this move. Also, I see that computer recommends knight to g4 or bishop to b7, so I'll need to go through these two sidelines as well. During the game, I also thought about rook to e8 move, therefore I'll go into that sideline as well. In the end, I will have a couple of variations here, and I will save this file. In the future, whenever I need to refresh my knowledge in this opening, I can do so really quickly. I will simply open this game and go through the variation that I'm interested in. Ideally speaking, you need to analyze in this way the whole game that you played, but at least it's enough if you analyze the opening stage. Okay, now you have seen how to analyze the opening game with a computer, and let's draw the main conclusions. Why do you need to analyze your games with a computer, particularly the new openings that you're going to play? Why do you need to test it by playing training games against the computer, and what are the benefits that you can take from this training? Here are they. The first one, you will learn a couple of new ideas suggested by the computer. Secondly, you will be aware of all the typical traps, pitfalls in this opening. Computer definitely spots any tactics that exists in the position, and it plays in the very aggressive style. Therefore, you will be aware of any traps that are there. Next thing, computer is the best examiner. It is the strongest opponent that you can find. So if you test your opening against a computer, then you will not be afraid to play it against any human being. The next point, you will learn a lot of sidelines, and that's what I do recommend that you do. Not only analyze the actual game you played, but also go through the sidelines. Then you will prepare yourself against anything that may happen in your practical games. Another point, you can check and get answers to all the questions that you have about this opening. While playing the game, you think about different variations, about different plans. You're not sure which one is better. You can check all that, and when the time comes to play in the real tournament, you will get all the answers readily available. And the final note that I made here, which I called chess training, is the fact that I recommend that you not only go through the variations suggested by the computer mechanically, but also try to understand the logic behind those moves. Try to form some general strategic rules about the chess game. Then you will not only learn this particular opening, but you will also improve your overall understanding of the chess game. As you can see, there are really a lot of benefits from training your openings, especially the new openings, by playing training games against the computer. In this video, I have shared with you all the main knowledge that you need to know. Apart from that, I have also recorded one more lesson about a similar topic, and I recommend that you check this out. This is the free mini course that I recorded called Chess Training Plan for Rapid Improvement. It covers the very similar topic about how to train properly and how to use computer properly for your training. Once again, it's totally free, and that's why I do recommend that you go there and check this mini course as well. It's pretty short, and you can learn these lessons quickly, and it will complement your knowledge that you learned in this particular lesson. Thanks for your attention, and I'm looking forward to talk to you in the next lesson.